This is Inside Indiana Business Radio for Friday, November 8th, 2024. I'm Marek Mazurek. The owner of an Indonesian restaurant in southeast Indiana is growing her operations with the expansion of a tempeh factory in Greensburg. Mayasari Effendi, who opened the Mayasari Indonesian Grill in 2012, cut the ribbon earlier this month on the new facility for Mayasari Tempeh, which makes fresh frozen tempeh as well as tempeh protein chips under the Soya Maya brand name. Tempeh is a traditional Indonesian food made from fermented soybeans, and the company is using locally sourced soybeans from nearby farmers in Decatur County, which Indiana Soybean Alliance Senior Director of Market Development Ed Edbert said creates a source of pride among the farmers.
The people that are supplying Maya beans in her local market area there in Greensburg are very proud of that fact, that their soybeans are finding a new use, directly into human food consumption, which is, always something that the Indiana Soybean Alliance is looking for, which is, trying to find these new uses, find new demand, new opportunities to, again, consume more soybeans.
Effendi has invested over $500,000 to more than double the company's production space and add a small number of jobs. She said she is currently searching for partners to expand sales and distribution of her products to more locations around the state and around the Midwest. A manufacturer of cryogenic equipment headquartered in Clay County is under new ownership. Brazil-based Technifab Products has been acquired by industrial manufacturing and technology company Crane Company in a deal valued at over $40 million. Crane is headquartered in Stamford, Connecticut, and it said in a news release that Technifab's operation is a highly complementary one to the company's existing capabilities in cryogenics. Technifab was founded in 1992 by Noel Short and reported 12-month sales of $20 million through September of 2024. Crane did not specify how many employees Technifab has, but Crane executives say they are welcoming the entire Technifab team to the company. From the number one source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Indiana, your bold future starts here. IBJ Media, Inside Indiana Business, and the Indiana Economic Development Corporation invite you to the Engage Indiana series, presented by CareSource, Indiana University, and Old National Bank. With an unrelenting focus on growing Indiana's economy, our Engage Indiana events take place in every region of the state. Discover when we'll be in your area at ibj.com/engage.
Indianapolis-based High Alpha Innovation has teamed up with a Japanese venture capital firm DNX Ventures to launch a Tokyo venture studio focused on software startups in that country. The partnership represents the first time High Alpha Innovation has helped launch a non-US based venture studio. High Alpha Innovation launched in 2020 and works with universities and large corporations to help them launch startups. High Alpha's managing director said Japan's startup environment is much colder than it is in the US, which makes the country appealing for firms like High Alpha. The new studio in Japan will offer a 3 to 6 month program twice a year to help entrepreneurs build and launch startups. DNX Studio is the 6th venture studio that High Alpha Innovation has helped create. The company has worked with the universities of Notre Dame and Purdue in Indiana. New federal data shows that the majority of the country's public K-12 schools had difficulty hiring fully certified teachers heading into the current academic year, and Indiana districts are not immune to those vacancies. Data published by the U.S. Department of Education showed 1/5 of vacant teacher positions remained unfilled at the start of this school year, with many ongoing vacancies. As of Thursday, the Indiana Department of Education's job board listed more than 1,300 available educator jobs statewide. That's an improvement from earlier this year. As of June, there were more than 2,200 vacancies for teaching positions, and back in 2022, coming out of COVID-19 shutdowns, there were over 4,200 open teaching jobs. Most of those unfilled positions in Indiana are for elementary, early childhood, and special education positions. For a more in-depth look at that data, head to Inside Indiana Business or the IndianaCapitalChronicle.com. The Decatur County Community Foundation is asking for the public's help to raise money for a new sensory garden for children in the Greensburg Community School District. That fundraising project is part of the Creating Places program run by Indiana Housing and Community Development Authority. Launched in 2016, Creating Places fundraising efforts are led by local governments or nonprofits, and each project sets a goal between $5,000 and $50,000. If that goal is reached, the project gets that amount in matching funds from the IHCDA. The foundation is seeking $10,000 in community support for the Sensory Garden, which would help children learn about the five senses through nature. The Chief Transformation Officer at Community Health Network, Patrick McGill, is this week's guest on the Business and Beyond podcast, hosted by Gary Dick, presented by PNC. A weekly conversation with high-profile Hoosiers in business, sports, entertainment, and beyond. Available now from your favorite podcast provider. I'm Mark Mazurek for Inside Indiana Business Radio On Demand.